So when we're doing that that cross lapel choke or the hammer choke from here, right? The thing that I need to be able to do in order to finish that choke is take this arm when I am pulled over on the side and bring this arm down to the mat, right? So what is the easiest defense for this? Is to put your fucking hand here. You create a post so that that arm can't get down, right? So you're blocking that finish of that choke. You know, it'd be better to head the choke off so that they didn't get the grips in the first place, but if they get the grips, I'm using this as a block. So, come up into my knee, right? Boom, right? And I have this grip already, right? And I go here, I pet the back of his head. Usually the head will come up easier because the neck is not part of the whole body here. It's in one lock position like it is on this foam roller. Now, if I start to cone and he starts to block my elbow, usually about at this place, like I can't get it down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knee that's on his belly, I'm gonna slide it across here, right? So now I'm in that kind of bicep right or arm right here, right? So once I have that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start to turn the corner and put my head down to the mat. Okay? Now, this spinning hammer choke is incredibly tight, okay? Usually people can't finish this, so I recommend a lot of times when you're practicing it, loosen up on this grip here, okay? So you can make it all the way around. Now, the thing is, if I start to spin around and I try to finish it from here, he's gonna do this, right? He's gonna start scooching this way to loosen that choke, right? So why do I have to put my head there? Well, now he's running into my head. So from here, I'm going to get into this little bit of a pike position, and then I'm going to start doing the low row here, right? So, again, honestly, a lot of times you're going to go through that spin when you're practicing with a willing partner, and, you know, they're going to tap when you get, like, a lot of times I've had people tap here, right? I didn't get all the way around, and they're already tapping, because this is super tight if you do it right. If you get into competitions, and that's the thing, is when you are competing or you're rolling and you're having a really tough match, your technique is probably going to be 50% of what it is when you practice with a willing partner, maybe even less, right? Especially if you're if you're in that white belt level. Even at my level as a blue belt, like a lot of times, when I'm in a high stress situation, my technique gets worse, and I don't remember techniques when I need them and all that. So really work on your techniques, get them like 100% perfect here. Do that 1,000 times so that your body knows and not just your brain, right? So and here I get that first grip. So I move from this armpit grip to that collar grip. I'm going to make that little seatbelt here. Boom. I'm going to pop up to knee right up. Notice when I'm doing that again, my knee is sliding across their body. Okay, I'm not doing that, right? I'm not creating any space there. I need it to be tight because I don't want them running away. So from here, I start to slide my knee up. I tuck my foot underneath their butt so that they can't pull me into a half guard particularly easily. My knee's going right into their solar plexus. If you want to be nice with your partner, you can go a little bit more parallel or perpendicular to the body rather, right? So I get here, I have this, and I come here, I pet the back of his head, and I get that hammer, the two-fisted grip. So this is a baseball grip right here, right? So now I'm going to slide my knee off and I'm pin his arm. Now I'm going to step around. Notice that I didn't put my knee to the mat. I put my head by his hip and I come here and I start to do that low row here. One of the things that happens a lot with cross lapel chokes like this is that when people do this finish, they do this, right? They flare their elbows out and they bring their arms so they're basically going flat across the trachea here. For one, you're going to injure your partners that way. Two, they're not going to go out that way. Like, you're probably going to have to hold it for probably a good 5 or so minutes until their blood becomes completely deoxygenated and makes them pass out. But again, guys, that takes a long time. That can, for some people, it can be 5-10 minutes. So we can't rely on that in a self-defense situation. We can't rely on that in a tournament. So what we want to do is we want to come here. And notice when I'm doing that row, guys, that V is getting smaller there, right? And so what's happening is my arms are sliding here and they're compressing on the side and hitting those arteries, and that's what we want to make somebody pass out really fast. For those of you who like chokes, this is probably not one that you're going to love. You will find that you go really fast, but it kind of sucks. In fact, all these hammer chokes kind of do. So, here, create that baseball grip. He prevents me from putting my elbow down, so I block his arm by sliding my knee across it. Now I'm going to step around. Now he might be, following me here, but I am prepared to continue to follow him. I can move just as fast as he can here. And eventually I'm gonna get to a point where my head can go down, block his hips, come into that high position. Notice that my hips aren't particularly high. I'm not way up here. I'm down here. I'm pretty close to basically teabagging him here. And then I do that little row. Okay, so that is your spinning hammer choke from eRed.